Welcome back, everybody, to another fantasy football year. We have the first Sunday football action going on today, and I thought it was only fitting that I do my power rankings today. Have them ready to go in this handy-dandy notepad. Before we start, we should point out the obvious change. New jersey, let's go Juju. Last jersey I had didn't work out so well. It's a reference to Antonio Brown. We're ready. We got my pumpkin spice latte here. Tasty. Before we get started on these wonderful rankings I have, I want to welcome our newest comer, Shane, who has taken over Tom Terrian's team, who apparently doesn't know how to set a lineup, do a draft, or anything of that nature. Jumping right into this, we're going to start with the worst team in the league. I'm not even going over his team because I don't believe it gets that respect. It's Turn Your Head and Goff. I gave everyone plenty of notice when this draft was, and you still find a way to auto-draft. I don't care if you win the league. It's not even your team. This is ESPN's team, so you might as well just rename your team, give it a different owner, because no matter what you do, you didn't draft that team. You have zero bragging rights. Moving right on to the next one. Realistically, I love this man. He's taught me everything I know about sports. But, man, fantasy is something he has not taught me. And I'm glad, because he drafted every Pittsburgh Steelers player known to man. That's my dad. And I love you, Dad, but man, I should have gave him better draft advice or something. Let's just go take a look at this team real quick. We won't spend a lot of time on it. It's every Steeler player: Ben Roethlisberger, Benny Snell Jr., who's their third string running back, James Washington, Vance McDonald. So, I mean, if Steelers have a good week, I mean, yeah, he might win a game or two, but that ain't going to look too hot. Keeping it moving, we're going to go to number 8, which is fourth kid conversion. Chris, I love you too, man. And I can even say you're part of the reason why I'm moving to North Carolina, because I already have a friend down there. But when you have technically 2 first-round picks and you blow both of them, that's special. That's special talent right there. So, looking at your... I know Patrick Mahomes was one, and I don't even know who your other one was. Because looking at your roster, it looks like it must have been someone terrible. You have both A.J. Green and Melvin Gordon, who probably won't play through halfway through the season, so at that point, it's irrelevant. You won't even make the playoffs, so at least you'll finish somewhere around 500 when they come back. Nah, that's giving you too much. You ain't going to finish anywhere around there. Team's trash. I like Dalvin Cook. Trade you for him. That's about it. Rest of your team, garbage. Straight trash. Moving on. Number 7, and this one hurts me to say, because this guy, he knows fantasy, and I don't understand how he finished so terribly. Pine Street Pain, Ryan Lee. What are you doing, man? I mean, you kept Zeke. Good call. He ended up, getting his contract, whatever. You got James Conner. All right, I like those picks. But Alshon Jeffrey, Chris Godwin, Devontae Freeman. Oh, dude, your starting lineup is terrible outside your 2 starting runners. Jameis Winston, man, this isn't stealing crab leg day, dude. He's washed up. He's terrible. He's going to throw 3 interceptions a game. I'm looking at the rest of your team. Damian Williams, LaShawn McCoy screwed him. I won't hold that against you. D.D. Westbrook's decent, but he's on your bench. You don't even have him started. I'd probably put him above every wide receiver you have. Kareem Hunt suspended 8 games, so you're in the same boat as Chris. Your team might start winning a couple games halfway through the year when you're already irrelevant. So, sorry, Ryan, but every year you just let me win this league with ease. Going to number 6. APDC, and I actually thought I was going to have you a lot higher, and I started looking at these teams a little bit deeper, and I wasn't too impressed, Pat. I'll tell you that. Dak Prescott's your quarterback. That's terrible. There's still quarterbacks on waivers you could go pick up that I would trust way more than him. Joe Mixon as your running back, you better hope that he catches a lot of garbage time passes from Andy Dalton, because that team is terrible. If they go 0-16, I wouldn't be surprised. Leonard Fournette, are you forgetting we're playing PPR here? He doesn't catch balls out of the backfield. Yeah, he might get a couple touchdowns, but man, he isn't gonna catch up with other people. DeAndre Hopkins is your only good player, and that was your keeper. Brandon Cooks is garbage. Austin Eckler, you're literally banking on backup players now. Pat, you're better than this. You better start sending out trades, because your team is not looking so hot right now. I'll leave it there. You tend to surprise me. You tend to make a trade. You tend to get something going. I think you'll figure something out. But right now you're sitting at 6, Pat, which we've been through 5, so now we're going to a top 5. All right. Sitting at number 5, we have my ball, Zach Ertz. And now that I'm listing off his name, we need to realize that you haven't changed your name yet. Get a new name. Some of you have had the same name since you got in here. They don't even fit your name anymore. For instance, I have Zach Ertz, so your name is irrelevant to your fantasy team. Anyway, your top 5, so I'll give your team a little bit of love. You kept Christian McCaffrey, where I noticed you first kept Aaron Rodgers. Good change. I was really hoping that you would have turned him in so I could grab him, but you smartened up. Keenan, Allen Thielen, your wide receivers are studs. The fact that you have a top 3 running back and then you turn around and you grab 2 top 10 wide receivers in the league, I'll give you some love on that. However, Trey Burton was already out of game and you never even changed him from your roster, so don't know how active you're being, but come on, you gotta notice those things. Your team's still top 5. I think you'll actually make the playoffs this year. Chris Carson's your only, to me, I actually really like T.Y. regardless if Luck's gone or not. I'll put your team in a top 5. Number 4, and normally I would never do this, but I have to. I put my team at number 4. I drafted some risky players. David Johnson screwed me last year for whatever reason. I drafted him again. I turned in all my keepers, and I took Le'Veon Bell. Who knows how that's going to turn out. He'll probably tear his ACL today versus the Bills, knowing my luck. But other than that, I really like my team. I've been active in the group chat trying to see if anybody would trade me for a wide receiver, because Cooper Kupp and Amari Cooper are my wide receivers. So for this video, still looking for one if anyone wants to send out there. But I got a top 3 tight end in the league. I like where I'm at there. Jared Goff sitting there in the last round of the draft. I'll take him all day. Man, I can't complain with my team, but nonetheless, I'm looking at these top 3 teams, and yeah, I'll give it to you guys. You guys had a good draft. I don't know where you guys will finish. We'll go to the number 3 team that I have, and I don't care what ESPN says. Their projections are shot. I'm going to give it to Saquon This, which I like that name. I don't know if you looked it up or if you came up with it yourself, but Dustin, bravo points for you. I put you above me just for your name. That's good. Unless I find out that you looked it up, then don't listen to any of this. Let's go with Saquon This real quick. Drafted Aaron Rodgers, which week 1, 14 points against the Bears. I mean, I'll give him that. Barkley, I mean, you can't really, that was your keeper. You can't butcher that. Already made a trade. Got Nick Chubb. I like Calvin Ridley, but man, you I don't know how I put you this high, really, because you're kind of turning into my dad, except Corey Sutton, and you got Philip Lindsay on your bench. Might as well go pick up. Sadly, I can't name another Denver player because they're that terrible. We'll say Flacco. I know how much you like him, and that's your Christmas present. It's his jersey, so maybe you should pick him up. I like how you tried to get Duke Johnson, thinking that he's going to be a starting running back for Houston. That's not going to happen. That might work out for like a week or 2 for you. Again, though, you got a top 3 tight end. I was really high on Kittle, Ertz, and Kelsey this year, and you took the best of all 3, so that's why I put your team above mine. You got 2 stud running backs. I like Calvin Ridley more than I like Amari Cooper, even though Cooper's a 1 and Ridley's 2. And you got Kelsey, so if any of those players get hurt, I'm immediately putting you to probably 9 or 10 because your team will be screwed. Going to number 2, I'm going to give it to the newcomer this year. I know what I said about auto drafting for Goff. This was not my buddy Shane's problem. I don't even want to say Rent-A-Cops for the team name because he hasn't changed his name yet because he's still sharing ownership with Tom, who, again, hasn't even noticed he's sharing a team with anybody because he doesn't check it. But Shane came right in, started being active. He made a trade immediately. Props to Shane for looking at the team and realizing it was like, it's not that great. But he decided to join anyway because he's a team player. So moving forward, Shane will be in the league. He takes over what I would say was, I got him in the top 2. I like his team. A lot of people have given up on Gurley. I still really like Gurley. I would have spent a first-round draft pick on him if I could. He backs it up with Sony Michel, who with Patriots wide receiver core, I think they're going to be running the ball, and there's no way you could stack the box against him. So I like to see Sony Michel going off this year. Devontae Adams is one of the top wide receivers that was available in the draft. Mike Evans is just, man, I just do not trust that Tampa Bay offense. OJ Howard is a stud at tight end. I mean, he's not one of the top three, but he could definitely give you production every week, every other week or so. And Robert Woods, I mean, have we forgot what the Rams offense is capable of? I can't believe that he's got 2 Rams players on his team, and I don't even find that a bad idea. I find that to be awesome. They're going to put up 40 points a game, and he's the only one. I can't say he's the only one because he auto-drafted, but again, not his fault. Won't hold it against him. Other than that, I mean, your bench sucks. So any bye week, you better hope that every one of your players has a bye week the same week and just get it out of the way because Kenyon Drake, garbage. Miles Sanders, could be good. Wouldn't count on it. Rashard Penny, garbage. Latavius Murray, garbage. Hines, garbage. Dante Pettis, meh. Aaron Jones, garbage. That's probably the one part that killed you. Like I said, can't hold it against you. You got auto drafted and you didn't come into the league till after. Aaron Jones, man, anyone that wasted a draft pick on that guy, I feel bad for. Anyway, this brings us to number one. I'm trying to fly through this. I don't want to waste everybody's Sunday. I know everyone's pumped for football, but I wanted to make sure I got these power rankings out. Also got to leave a little bit of suspense for who the number one team is, although you should be able to figure it out by now because there's only one team left. And I hate to give it to her, but stealing the show, my sister, I hate to say that my sister has a better team than me. And she won't by the end of the year. Like I said, my team's just full of risk. So as soon as I find out these risks were worth the reward, I'll do another one of these and I'll tell you who's on top. Obviously me. My sister, I will say the only pick that I really didn't like that you had was Drew Brees. He's getting older. I don't trust him for fantasy value anymore. Kerryon Johnson that you got in the third, I think that was a solid pickup because that's right about where I have him, and I knew there was no chance that I was going to get him with you in front of me. James White, again, this Patriots offense, it's the only thing I see with this now is they're not going to be down nearly as much with the weapons that they have, but he is a PPR monster. I mean, nothing for him to grab 8 catches and go for 130 yards and a touchdown. He's just mad what he can do. Obviously, Juju, love me some Juju. Michael Thomas was your keeper. I love that. And I like that you paired him up with Drew Brees. Like I said, I don't know how effective. George Kittle, like I said, I'm really high on the top 3 tight ends that were in this league this year, or in the draft this year. And Allen Robinson was sneaky because, let me tell you what, I was avoiding all Bears players. I don't trust that offense, but week 1 against the Packers, and the Packers had a good defense, held the Bears 3 points, and Robinson still put up, 17 points? So I'll definitely give it to you there. And also, I'm going to let everyone know now that I told you to pick up Devin Singletary from Buffalo. Mark my words, that was a sneaky, really good pickup because he's going to get a lot of PPR madness from Buffalo. They're going to be down in a lot of games, and he's going to be catching a lot of balls. So right now, I got to give it to my sister as the number one team, and you probably can't see it in my facial expression, but that kind of kills me a little bit. Either way, I've won this league 3 out of the 5 years we've been doing it, 3 out of the 6 years we've been doing it. So you might as well put your money on me to win because I got a 50-50 chance to do so. Anyway, again, welcome our newest member, Shane, and screw you and Goff. Maybe you should pay attention to when your draft is. Start trading some players so it at least makes it look like that you orchestrated your roster a little bit instead of just counting on ESPN to do it. Sorry, you're too much of a pussy for you to draft your own team. But yeah, that's my top 10. Sorry, I'm getting a little angry about that. It's nothing against you, Tyler, I believe it is. Draft your own team next time. You should probably trade me Antonio Brown. But that's it. That's my top. That's my list 1 through 10. I hope you like it and agree with it. And I'm sure anybody in the bottom 5 doesn't. But suck it.